Do you have a written presentation? Use the microphone.
Yes, we do not have a written submission because the subject matter, when the letter was received, it was related to the relevant department, which is Solicitor's Department.
You have to speak louder, please, and draw the microphone closer if you need to.
Mr. Chairman, so when the letter was received, it was minuted down from the Office of the Honorable Attorney General to the PAMSEC, then to the Director Solicitors, which is the scheduled department for issues like this. So we searched through our records, we have not seen any trace of this matter in our department.
All right, so we can move forward now to have you on record.
Yes.
Is the ministry aware that there is a contract between the government of Nigeria and System Specs Nigeria Limited or Remita for the collection of revenue into the Treasury single account of the federal government?
Yes, I can confirm, Honorable Chair, that the ministry is not aware.
That the Ministry of Justice is not
aware
of any subsisting contract between government and System Specs or Remita?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Yes, Honorable.
Mr. Chairman, Honorable colleagues, my name is Ome Hassan. Please, the exercise we are undertaking is a very serious one, not only to us, but to the people of Nigeria. And for the committee to have deemed it wise to extend an invitation to the hallowed office of the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation tells you that the issue at stake is very, very germane. And for you to appear before us, the general public, the entire Nigerians are watching. Whatever you say will be used to, judge whatever we are doing as a country. Now, why I have given this premise of background is because of the fact that the Attorney General of the Federation is the chief law officer of the Federation. And whenever it happens to, any issue arises and that has to do with law or legal issues that concerns the Nigeria as a federation, will resort to the office of the Attorney General. In the course of this investigation, we saw a document purportedly, presented and phoned up as an agreement between the Central Bank of Nigeria and System Spec. And that document, we were made to understand, is a model that showcases the procedures, the agreement, the terms between Nigeria as a country represented by CBN and the System Spec as a company. Now, in the course of looking at the document, we saw that the document, one, is undated, and a lot of irregularities arising from the document. And we know that the Attorney General, the Chief Law Officer, will, by our own assumption, have supervisory role over all the government agencies in issues of law, in matters of agreement between Nigeria and any other body. So we wanted to find out if actually there exists that document between CBN or between Nigeria and System Spec. And you're saying you're not aware. So it's really very, very shocking to all of us. Because, well, let me put it as a question. Is there any ways the Office of the Attorney General oversees or supervises legal-wise the agencies, departments, and ministries of the Federation when issues of law, agreement between Nigeria and other bodies are concerned? If it is so, why are you not aware? Why is the ministry, why is the Office of the Attorney not aware of this particular one? Especially an important document that regulates the remittal of revenues direct to the coffers of the federal government. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Let him answer that. Answer that first, please.
Thank you, Honorable Member. It is a time-honored practice that all agreements that are approved by the Federal Executive Council, first, they have to be vetted and cleared by the Honorable Attorney General, the Chief Law Officer of the Federation. Then, it is another practice which is anchored on the constitutional position of the Honorable Attorney General as the Chief Law Officer of the Federation, that all agreements that commit government to an amount reaching up to 50 million and above has to be cleared, has to be vetted, cleared by the Honorable Attorney General. There is a circular on that. So I don't know if there is such an agreement, it couldn't have passed through the system, the Ministry of Justice. Okay, just for clarification, there is a circular that says that any agreement that commits government financially up to a sum of 50 million naira and above, yes, must be vetted. Yes. Is it vetted? Vetted by the Office of the General for the Federation. Is that your position? Yes. Okay, can you avail us a copy of that circular? I will do okay, that. Please provide and the vetting, Honorable Chairman, sorry. Yes. The vetting is not only vetting as to the form and format of the agreement, but also the process. We review the process leading to the agreement. So that's one we call it clearance. After vetting, if the draft is okay, then we look at the implication and then the process. If it's something that needs Federal Executive Council approval, we will see a copy. If it is something that ICRC has to be involved, we have to see no objection from them. So all the procurement process, we have to examine them.
All right, Dr. Osawa. Oh, is it the same thing?
No. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Director, as I'm asking my questions, I'm going to engage you, sir. Please, the first thing I want to ask here, you're on oath. Now you are telling us that this falls under your jurisdiction. Is that what you are saying, sir?
Well, as far as I understand it, it falls within our jurisdiction.
Okay, thank you. And secondly, I want to assume that the part of the role you play when it comes to these agencies is that of monitoring or oversight, if I may use that word. Is that correct?
Well, I do not think it is monitoring or oversight.
What role do you play in this case?
Our role stops at vetting the agreement, review the process, and see if before signing the agreement, before reaching the draft, it was well negotiated, it passed through the procurement, laid down procurement rules.
Okay, yes. So is this the first time you are hearing about a situation like this?
Honestly, in fact, that's one of the reasons why the Honorable Attorney General asked the scheduled department to appear at this meeting, so that we will see. I had wanted to hear from the CBN or whoever signed the agreement, whether or not there was any attempt to even refer it to Ministry of Justice.
Because while we are asking, we've had different agencies come here to talk about this Remita. But if the Ministry of Justice has not been aware, it's kind of very, very troubling that things like this can be going on. You are not aware. And I think this is a collective blame, if you agree with me. Because part of why we are failing is just this issue. We are now the one giving you this information. You should know that things like this have been going on. So I don't know if your role with this agency should be defined, and let us know as a committee what exactly you do when it comes to this. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You may not need to just leave that. That will be part of the issues we'll treat holistically. Yes. I'm coming.
Thank you, Chairman. Mine is just an inquiry. I understand that in many MDAs, the Attorney General's office has desk officers. I want to know whether CBN is an exemption. That's number one, because if CBN is an exemption, then I might want to link the problem to the Minister of Finance or Attorney General or Accountant General, because I know that Attorney General's office has desk officers in those places. So if your officers in Ministry of in Accountant General and Ministry of Finance are not aware of this,
let him even confirm first,
yes,
whether they have a
yes,
desk office
that's
in the
number
CBN.
One. Number one, sir. That number two is that I also know that Attorney General's office do, in the course of their activities, generate revenue in one way or the other. That's of sales of properties here and there. No. Do you at any time pay through Remita? It's good for us to know, so that I will now conclude that why do you participate in illegal organization? So let's start from the first question.
Okay, thank you very much. The first question as to whether we have a representation in CBN. CBN, we do not have Attorney General's representation in CBN. But we have legal department headed by, it's an appendage of the office of the Honorable Attorney General. We have we have directors heading their legal department. That's the Accountant General and Minister of Finance, Federal Minister of Finance. So normally when there is, we have other agencies in which we do not have direct representation. But what happens is that anytime they are going into any commitment, they want to commit government in any form of agreement, they pass through their mother ministry. Then the ministry will now come to Attorney General, Minister of Justice. So in the case of CBN, I'm not in a position to know whether whether Minister of Finance was involved or Accountant General, because there is no trace of that.
Answer the second question.
Yes. So the other question, I think, has to do with
whether your ministry has had cause to pay government through Remita as a ministry.
Well,
do you have any interface with the Remita platform?
I don't have any idea about generating income by Federal Minister of Justice.
All right. But there are people that pay for certain services in your ministry.
I don't think so. Is there?
Okay,
this is account.
Just a moment, sir.
I've paid through the place before, so don't need to argue.
Okay.
Because I know you do a lot of...
just a moment, Honorable. I think he wants to...
Okay.
Honorable Chairman, thank you, sir. We pay through Remita, but he is in the solicitor office who deal with agreement.
All right. All right. That's okay. Assistant Director, or Deputy Director, sorry, I don't want to rank you. You are Deputy. Deputy is higher than Assistant. Has there been any instance where the CBN made recourse to you on any agreements in the past?
Not to my knowledge. Not to
It's
my knowledge.
never been a practice for CBN to contact the Office of the Attorney General regarding any of its legal agreement or activities.
Well, on legal issues, Honorable Chair, there have been instances where they seek for legal advice from us. Maybe when they have issues with other agencies, maybe somebody writes a complaint against them, so we intervene because we also provide legal opinion on all issues relating to federal government business.
So the CBN makes use of your service on some other issues?
Yes.
Remember, he said that the Attorney General
microphone, sir. Use your microphone, sir.
That the Attorney General's office do not necessarily have desk offices in all Ministry of Finance, but they go through their mother agencies. Remember too that CBN is under Ministry of Finance.
No.
It's under Ministry of Finance.
No.
It is under Ministry of Finance.
The CBN is not under Ministry of Finance.
It is.
No, it is. It is. Honorable Chair.
It's under Ministry of Finance.
But with some level of autonomy,
are you sure that the
I'm sure.
CBN?
I'm sure.
Well, the CBN best global practice, the central bank best global practice, so usually an autonomous body. That is the. So I doubt if that is correct. The Minister of Finance, with due respect, I don't know. I'm not sure the Minister of Finance can pass on the directive to the CBN governor. If a directive will go to the CBN governor to be from the president. So I'm not too sure that the CBN can be categorized as being under. I can be corrected. I stand to be corrected. Yes, no, Attorney General wants to say something about it. You can correct, please, if that
yes,
position is wrong.
There is some level of supervisory role the minister plays on CBN.
The Ministry of Finance?
Yes. Remember, even when it comes to that issue of currency issue, I think there were even pronouncements from the top to the effect that even the Honourable Minister of Finance was not.
No. All pronouncements on the president on the currency issue was either from the presidency or the CBN governor, not from the Ministry of Finance. So you can just cross-check what I've said. I'm talking about best global practice, and I would not be too surprised if our case here is a little bit different. But I don't know the CBN anywhere is. Honorable Leko, please.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. Ministry of Justice, my question goes this way. The circular you are talking about, when was the circular out? Which year? Which date?
The circular is referring to?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
The one that says any contract above 50?
Yes.
Excellent.
Well, it came in fact intermittent and many times. The former immediate past Attorney General also issued in the, I think about, I cannot recall exact dates, but I know it's just like 2 years.
No, but you said you can help us with a copy.
Yes, I will.
Also,
yes.
Then further, I also, based on what your colleague said, that even the Ministry of Justice paid money through Remita. That is to say that you are aware of the business that is not legally backed between federal government and system spec. And you are also part and parcel of those who are paid.
Honorable, don't let.
So, what I want to say is, before this invitation, what have you done, knowing fully that this business or transaction between system spec and federal government, that based on your knowledge or based on what you said before the parliament, that there was no document to your understanding regarding that. What have you done to, approach government to tell them the consequences of what they are doing, since agreement was not reached and was not entered before this invitation? Have you done anything to draw the attention of government?
Thank you, honorable colleague. I think he has taken note of that. I don't want to spend too much. The Minister of Justice have given us the information we need for this investigation.
Sorry, sir. You see why we invited the Office of the Attorney General is to avoid what happened in the case of P&ID. Yeah. You know the case very well.
Yeah.
And you know where Nigeria has been, pigeonholed into. We are trying to get out of that engagement. It is out of, not being very careful in the agreements we enter.
What's the question, Honorable?
Yes, so the question now is, the Office of the Attorney General owes the Nigerian people a responsibility to ensure you don't just sit and wait until there's a problem. You should carry out your oversight of all these agencies and bodies effectively. Don't wait until you have issues of this nature. We shouldn't be the one pointing out, but there should be questions. Thank you, sir.
All right, Honorable. I wish the Honorable Minister himself was here, but we'll take that at another level. Just one final question. What is the legal implication of a contract entered into that binds government to the tune of 50 million and above that is not vetted or approved? by your office? What is the legal implication of such a contract?
Well, sometimes, you know, if you can do the wrong thing, if there is no issue, you may get away with it. But when there is an issue, that is where you will be on your own. So when that happens, to us, the people who are involved, who go into that agreement will be held personally liable for whatever happens. Because Attorney General did not clear it, and it means government is not properly committed to it.
All right, so will you call that document a legally binding document?
Yeah, it all depends on the people that get involved. For instance, if
it will depend on the people.
The agencies sometimes. The reason why I say this is that there are times that you go into an agreement, even the PNID that the honorable member was referring to, there was no clearance from the Attorney General's office. But that was not one of the reasons why we succeeded. If you represent yourself as having the authority to do a thing, then, yes.
Thank you very much. Let me call you the Honorable Attorney General now. You take that title. Honorable colleagues, I think we are done with the Ministry of Justice. Please supply us with copies of all relevant circulars and regulations that govern agreement like this. And we need copies of those documents before the close of work on Friday of this week. Thank you. You're welcome.